There's been some talk about Star Wars doing a Rey movie. Lucasfilm announced it officially at Star Wars Celebration. Again, confounding a lot of people like myself, saying, really, you want to go back to one of the most divisive things you've ever done to the fandom? Don't get me wrong. I love Daisy Ridley. I even appreciate the Rey character personally. But this is a character that kind of represents a small era of the Star Wars canon that has really divided the fan base, like a lot. And I didn't know if that was wise. But they said unequivocally, Rey is the next movie we're shooting. That was the message that got repeated a number of times over the weeks. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, no, the next movie we're shooting is a Mandalorian movie being directed by John Favreau, and that's the next movie we're shooting. So that raised a lot of questions about what is the status of the Rey movie and all this kind of other stuff. Now, some reports have started floating around in the last day or two that the Rey movie had been postponed. Now, I find that very believable because Lucasfilm was, again, very direct. This is the next movie we're shooting. We're shooting this movie next. Okay. And then they said, no, Mandalorian is the movie we're shooting next. All right. That happened. So reports started going around that the movie had been delayed. Some people even running in their headlines that the movie had been delayed indefinitely. Well, Lucasfilm is pushing back against that. One of our friends, Jermaine Lucier over at Gizmodo, he wrote the following. He said, you can take the latest Star Wars rumor and throw it in the Sarlacc pit, the rumor that it was delayed indefinitely. Earlier this week, rumors surfaced that the upcoming Obadiah Chinoy Star Wars film featuring the return of Daisy Ridley as Rey had been delayed indefinitely. The reason? Creative differences with the film's writer, Stephen Knight. Well, that's not true, according to Lucasfilm. A source of the company told IO9 that the report is inaccurate and Knight continues to write and be a part of the process. In fact, the company is waiting on his latest draft as you read this. Okay. I think this is a great example about how sometimes we fans just need to go, we don't know. Because obviously, things at Lucasfilm right now are a disorganized, chaotic, disastrous mess. And I know that sounded mean. I don't mean to sound mean, but you can't describe the status of Lucasfilm any other way when you look at what's gone on over there last year or two. All these projects announced and all these projects canceled and all, now we're doing this and now we're doing this. Now we're not doing that. Now we're not doing this. Ray's the next movie we're shooting. No, we're doing that. Oh, there's going to be a Mandoverse movie being directed. Oh, no, wait, we're doing a Mandalorian movie now and John Favreau's going to direct. Oh, now that's the next thing that's shooting. It's a chaotic mess. And I think anybody right now trying to definitively say we know what's happening over at Lucasfilm is deluding themselves, because I don't think Lucasfilm knows what Lucasfilm is doing right now. Like 100% believe the Gizmodo report saying that Lucasfilm has told IO9 that everything's fine and everything's still moving ahead. I believe Lucasfilm is telling people that, but I don't know that I believe Lucasfilm. I do believe there is some chaos going on right now with the Rey project. I don't know if it's delayed indefinitely or not, like some people are claiming that it is, but there's something going on. Clearly, because you never mentioned this Mandalorian movie at all at Star Wars Celebration, and all of a sudden that movie is shooting this year. There's another report come out today that no, Rey's going to start shooting in May. Okay. But they just said that this movie's not even being done written yet. They like literally Lucasfilm's own statement is, no, Stephen Knight is still part of the process. What the fuck does that mean?
It's not good.
He's still part of the process. All right. And that Lucasfilm is currently waiting on a new draft to be submitted. Again, I make no claim of knowledge here about what's going on with the Rey project. I make no claim of knowledge to know what's going on with anything else Lucasfilm is doing. I just think that with so much contradictory stuff out there, it's a reminder, I think, for us again, that there are a lot of sources that we listen to and follow online for good reason, right? There's a lot of them out there that sometimes, maybe even oftentimes, have very good information. But this is why, Rob, I'm always telling people, wait to see what the Hollywood Reporter says, or wait to see what Variety says. In some instances, wait to see what The Wrap says. Because there is so much contradictory information out there right now, and anecdotal stuff. Like, listen, it's clear to everybody, Lucasfilm is a disaster right now. They're an absolute disorganized disaster. And so I read all these reports, and my final conclusion is I don't know what to believe when it comes to this race stuff right now. Anyway, Rob, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if this Mandalorian movie is really going to happen. They say it's going to happen. I don't know that I believe that. And whatever happened to that James Mangold thing? I don't know. Anyway, guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Guys, it's a brand new year, and a lot of people are making New Year's resolutions, things they want to change about themselves. But I've always believed that it's also equally as important to identify the things we're doing well and building on those. And therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. I've always believed that nothing impacts our daily performance in our jobs, our hobbies, our relationships like our mental health. And I've also said for a long time that it's about time that we stop just putting emphasis on improving our physical health by getting out to the gym, but also by putting emphasis on improving our mental health as well. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you gotta do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So guys, celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. You hear these reports going around, some saying it's delayed indefinitely, some saying, no, everything's fine, everything's running around. I don't know. What do you take away from this?
I think you're right. Look, first of all, it's a shambles. First of all, Disney, a publicly held company whose stock price has been in flux, and they're talking about how much money is being lost. Star Wars is a foundational cornerstone of Disney's entertainment empire. And it's amazing to me that since Rise of Skywalker was released in 2019, we're now in 2024, 5 years on, that this foundational cornerstone that not only do they make $1 billion, but those movies are supposed to drive things from the theme parks to the cruises to merchandising to all different kinds of things to what they're going to spin off on Disney Plus. And the way that they have announced projects, Weiss and Benioff trilogy, the Rian Johnson trilogy, the Rogue Squadron movie, the like you said, the Mangold film, the fact that all of these projects have been announced, I don't understand why they don't keep this stuff under wraps. I don't understand why we even know all this. If I was investing in Disney, I'd be looking at Disney going, what kind of company is this? Why should I give my money to a company that they don't even know what they're doing? If I'm investing in the company, I need to understand how their production slate's working so I can anticipate how much money the company's going to make for the year. And they've just been all over the place. And I look at these things, look, maybe the Rey movie, because of you let your director go off and talk about all these things. If she'd said, we have a great Star Wars story to tell. I can't wait to tell a great Star Wars story that advances the mythology that the fan base can embrace. She didn't say that, but I'm like, why don't they make that their messaging? And when I see this, I'm asking myself, so I'm supposed to get excited about now a Mandalorian and Grogu movie that I've been watching on Disney Plus? It's a TV show. And now you can make a movie, and that's fine, but it's like, how am I supposed to get excited about something I'm already paying to watch on Disney Plus? No, I'm going to run out. Why am I going to run out to a theater to see this? If anything can be waited for that you can sleep on until it gets to Disney Plus, it's a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I don't feel the need to go see that in theaters. Give me a Star Wars film that's epic in scope. Give me a Star Wars movie that's a Star Wars movie. That's what I want to see. And Lucasfilm has only put out Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny in the last 5 years. And they've given us Willow. They've given us the Book of Boba Fett. They gave us Obi-Wan Kenobi. They gave us Mandalorian Season 3. What have they given us that is supposed to make me as a lifelong Star Wars fan excited?
Yeah, I mean, look, my whole thought on the Mandalorian thing is still, it's a wiser choice than, say, a Rey thing. Because for the most part, again, when we agree about Mandalorian season 3 was their weakest by far. But Mandalorian is at least a character that most of the fan base seems in agreement on.
Sure.
We like the Mandalorian, right? So I can see that. Again, I told you this before. My big fear about the fact that they announced that they're doing a Mandalorian movie and still doing Mandalorian season 4 is that they're simply going to use the Mandalorian movie as a marketing tool to encourage people to go and watch Disney Plus. It's like, hey, everybody, you want to watch the continuing adventures of Mando and Grogu? Got to get Disney Plus and watch it there. And that part worries me. I don't know that that's what they're doing. I'm just saying I'm worried about it. So with this whole thing with the Rey situation, I mean, Lucasfilm has nobody to blame for all the utter confusion amongst the fan base about what's going on with this movie, because Lucasfilm sows these seeds of confusion by the way they have and have not conducted themselves, the way they've shepherded projects or lack thereof. And that's why we're just, look, I hope this Mandalorian movie comes out and it's awesome.
Me too.
I hope this Rey movie happens and comes out and it's awesome.
Me too.
I'm just saying Lucasfilm has got to start giving us some stuff to be enthusiastic and confident about, because Andor feels more and more like a one-off than anything else. Andor, again, is the greatest thing Star Wars has ever done since the original trilogy. And, I don't know, man.
I just find from a business standpoint, it's baffling to me that they're conducting the business this way. And I think it is not, I just don't understand why they're doing that. I would think that somebody from on high said, look, we can't keep doing this our investors are looking at our company, and what we're telling them is that Disney, forget Lucasfilm, but Disney is in a state of disarray between what they're doing with Pixar. Let's throw these Pixar movies out in theaters. You know, Soul came out and made what, $135,000 or something? I didn't even know it had come out in theaters again. We heard the announcement, but like, why should I invest my dollars into a company that seems to be in a state of complete, utter confusion?
At this point, honestly, and I try not to overreact to one thing being bad or one thing being good, but honestly, at this point, let Tony Gilroy run Lucasfilm. Because like, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we got to move on here with that. What do you feel about this? Let us know. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.